There was one specific pot which was no different than the other, but the owner, for some reason, had wrapped it up with a piece of cloth which had survived, and I had sort of the vision of the person who, for some reason, was attached to this specific vessel and had tried to protect it with the hope of return.
Of course, they were familiar with earthquakes. An earthquake was not the end of the world. The end came after.
The troubling earthquake was just a prelude to the main event, an eruption on a scale the ancient world had never experienced.
It starts with this, the initial precursory eruption, this fine ash. This was a dusting of this yellow, also brown and black ash. This said something big is going to happen.
The island was covered in up to 6 inches of ash by the precursory eruption.
Now what comes next? The pumice layer. The pumice layer is this volcano getting really explosive.
This was an eruption known as a plinian eruption. Its key characteristic, the mushroom shape of its column and the large amount of pumice the volcano ejects.
Exploding pumice is piling up piece by piece. This accumulates at a tremendous rate, probably about this much an hour. Piles up, but then suddenly it changes. No more pumice, instead ash. Tiny particles of ash. And that's because it got super explosive.
This new eruption phase was characterized by violent steam explosions, a Phreatomagmatic eruption caused by the interaction of magma and water.
What happened is the ocean poured into the vent. When the ocean pours into the vent, it is mixing with hot magma. Water and magma do not mix, they explode. And that exploded. That exploded in a series of pyroclastic flows that swept across the landscape, one after another, after another, after another, non-stop.
The pyroclastic flows of rock and gas reached temperatures of up to 700 degrees Celsius and speeds of up to 180 miles per hour.
Then at the same time, whatever's out in the middle of this volcano, which was a center island, is falling in. The caldera is collapsing into the magma chamber. Out come huge, huge rocks. Rocks the size of cars are being exploded out as ballistic missiles. And then finally, it's perhaps over. But not quite, because this huge eruption plume that's over our heads here, that is on top of this volcano, is developing electrical charges. Every little particle of ash has got an electrical charge. That charge bounces from one particle to another to another. Pretty soon, there are lightning bolts everywhere.